Salam, shalom, all praises to the horizon. Peace and wisdom. Wise Salah speaking. Hopefully everyone's in good spirits. Subscribe to the channel. Thumb me. Visit the website wiseservant.org, rupscaleknowledge.org. Get your dope hoodies, deep lecture magazines. You can also look over my services. Now, if anyone has any questions or wants to say anything before I start, you can do it now. Of course, everyone sees the title. Euthanasia. I want to discuss the angel of death. Take you guys deep, you know. Now, of course, you have the spirits. This is your angels, your demons, the spirits of the dead. And so, angels of death, or the angel of death, would be associated with the spirits. Now, when you're dealing with the spirits, so they have symbols or seals. This is going to be important in regards to you understanding this video. Meaning, angel of death has a seal or a symbol, as well as being a real entity. So I want to explain this where you guys can grasp. Now, can I get a sound check, please? Am I clear over the music? Once I get that, I'll start. Peace and Wisdom, page E3. Why didn't you guys tell me yesterday that my face was swollen? Got me on here looking like somebody put hands and feet on me. I did a playback last night. I said, do I got a black eye? Is my jaw swollen? Do I have a black eye? Unfortunately for all the haters, no one whipped my ass. No one fucked me up yet. Sorry. Sorry to bust your bubble. I went to the dentist. They pulled out my top gibbers on the back. Old man stuff. Don't worry about it. But they told me not to smoke for 3 days. Now, I like to live on the edge. So you all... Basically stupid shit. If you was wondering, like, damn, why Silas got beat up? Dentist, they went to work on they went to work on me. I didn't know. Woke up. But I'm alright. My sister told me what to do, you know. She made me a bunch of dentist appointments too. So you gotta have good people in your corner. Meaning my sister. My sister, she be getting on my nerves, but she always catch the alley-oop. Shoot that shot. If it don't go in, she got it. It's a deep thing. Try to grasp. Now, and that's another thing in regards to family. Whether your family is good or bad, snakes or losers, whatever the case may be, your family is your family. You get my point? And so you can't never cut your family off. Because your family's your family, if you get my point. Now, you could put distance between you and your family when need be to keep from becoming, you know, real enemies. If you kind of see like that's going to be the results of things. You get my point? And I ain't saying space and distance is not bad. But you don't never get in your mind space where you like, man, they ain't my family. That's when you getting into controlling mind, where you want everybody to be how you want them to be, and you have this mindset of, oh, a family should be this. We all got our ideas of what we think our family should be like and how we want it to be, and then you have the reality that people are where they are, and you get my point. Your family stay your family, and don't ever lose sight of that. You get my point? And so, like I said, my sister be getting on my nerves, but I never lose sight of these things. Like, that's my sister. My mother's my mother. My daughter's my, you get my point? My children's mothers are my children's mothers. You get my point? That's why you never see me like go live dissing my baby mamas or something. And they get on my nerves. I don't want you to get lost on it. We not together, so you got to grasp. They got to get on my nerves at some point in time. But with age, I suppose everyone gets better. Hopefully that makes sense. If you got too much pain and you feel like, nah, my family did me wrong, cool. Just remember what I said is for you. If you don't think that makes sense, just look at it like this. If your family did you wrong, strangers will do you worse. I don't even have to question that. So, can't nobody do you wrong when you do yourself right. And so that's the main lesson of anything. Whether a family member do you wrong or stranger in the street, you had yourself opened up for that. And so you got to keep things tight. Can't nobody truly penetrate or do anything to your emotional state, your mind, or your physical being unless you give them that access. You get my point? And so instead of getting mad at people, you just tighten up and grow. Hopefully that's clear. Peace and wisdom, Jada Xavier 93. Namnad said shout out to my sister. Yeah, she's the big OG. Of course, my mother, she's the matriarch now. My grandmother passed. And so my mother's the elder now. It's a deep thing. Transitions of life. After my mother, if her sister's still alive, so I suppose she'll be the matriarch. So on and so forth. So those are the orders of the family, the feathers. That's what I call the family, feather family. Now let's get to this deep wisdom. Euthanasia. First, let's discuss Tupac's Angel of Death chain. Euthanasia. I think this was also a record label or something he was trying to start or some sort of movement. If any of you guys are familiar with Tupac and Euthanasia, you can comment, whatever you know below, because I'm not familiar with that. But I do know he had the Angel of Death chain. Euthanasia was associated with it in some way. And so I know most of you guys in today's times, y'all are familiar with Euthanasia from Tupac and the association with his chain. The big. When I look at the chain, I say, damn, Tupac was ahead of his time because that's the kind of chains y'all wear now. Like, his wasn't a choker, but y'all wear the chokers with the big medallion circle pieces on it. Now, of course, the drug dealers did that back in the day, but his look more like y'all's, like what y'all will wear today. Y'all wouldn't wear the drug dealer's jewelry from the 80s in today times. It ain't hitting like y'all want it to. But his was kind of hitting. I looked at it, I say, yeah, take them rubies out. They will wear that in today times, flooded with ice. They crazy. Meaning y'all crazy. Give me Tupac chain, put 3 times more ice in it. Put it on a thick ass link, make it a choker. Nah, y'all get down. Need some extra tight pants, baby, and I'm mobbing. Shalom, shalom. Now let's get to the video. I forgot you guys don't have sense of humor. Personalities. And so there's Euthanasia, the angel of death chain. Now I want to take you guys deeper. Let me turn this down a little bit. To turn it up a little bit. I gotta just get the feeling. Now you have euthanasia, spelled the way I spelled it in the title. Of course, if you look up Tupac's euthanasia, that's not a word. EUPHANASIA. That's not a word. The word is euthanasia. Euthanasia is the act of killing someone by medical procedure. So you guys are familiar with like abortions, lethal injections. You get my point? Medical procedures that can administer death to a patient. And so, like I said, you have lethal injection. This is what dudes in jail get. A person may be suffering through an illness that is not going to be cured. And so they just suffering slowly to die. And so they may be administered in a euthanasia. You get it? To kind of like clock them out so they don't have to just go through whatever suffering they got. Old people have different euthanasias they're given as well. Euthanasia can be keeping a medicine from someone as well. Like if they need it, let them pass on. So there's many different euthanasia drugs. These are all recipes, you know, pharmaceutical recipes that can be administered to a patient. Now, I know most of you guys are like, okay, euthanasia is basically like anesthesia and all the other like drugs that the medical world has. Right. And so now I know you're like, okay, what does that have to do with an angel of death? This is where it gets deep. Now you have the Malak al-Maut. This is the angels of death, plural. Malak al-Maut, this is the Islamic way of saying angels of death. Now Malak, that's angels, plural. Maut, or M-A-W-T, Maut, is the same as Ma'at. So it's Malak al-Ma'at. Get it? Like ancient Egypt, Ma'at. And so Ma'at is death, no different than Ma'at. Meaning Malak al-Ma'at is the angel of death. Ma'at from ancient Egypt, she is death. And so it's the 42 laws of death, or Ma'at. And so it's really not 42 laws, but it's 42 levels of existence, the whole existence being death. And so there's an order to this samsara, so to say, or 42 levels of death. You know, you have atoms, molecules, cells, organisms, planets, so on and so forth. 42 levels. Now, you have Michael, Gabriel, Azrael, and Raphael. In Islam, Mikael, Jibril, Azrael, and Israfil. These are your archangels, are your angels of death. Stay with me. Hopefully this is clear. Now I want to explain how these angels of death that I just named, of course there's more, but these are your four. Whatever falls under them falls under them, meaning their assistants or whatever you want to call it. Now you can look up the 42 assessors of Ma'at, so you can be clear. This is ancient Egypt. This is Islamic. This is Christian. It's all the same. So in ancient Egypt, they call them Malak al-Maut, are the angels of death, the 42 assessors of Ma'at. This is Anubis, and you get it? Your realms of the dead. Anubis is weighing the feather against the heart and all of the duat talk. And all those entities, this is your 42 assessors of Ma'at. So I'm giving you that as reference so you can be clear. Ma'at and Malak al-Maut is the same. It's the same science, the same understanding. Now, I want to explain to you guys how these angels of death are within the body. And I want to explain their seals or their symbols. If anyone has questions, let me know. If I'm clear this far where y'all are following, put a thumb, put a 1 up, something like that, or give me a thumbs up. Now let's start with the angel of death seals. The seals are not symbols. Meaning if you're familiar with spirit summoning practices and you've seen the different seals of the spirits, are those symbols like the lesser key of Solomon? Those seals are symbols. Those seals are not symbols. They're recipes or scientific formulas. If you need an example, CO2, H2O. This is a scientific formula, but it's also a recipe. H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom. CO2, 1 carbon atom, 2 oxygen atoms. These are all recipes to manifest substance or molecule, meaning the bonding of these atoms will get you a molecule of a specific substance. When we talk in substance, we speak in liquid. Now, death is a group of entity. The different arrangements of this group will make you many different euthanasia recipes. Meaning you have those seals or symbols that y'all associate with spirits. You have your angel of death seal or symbol. It's a recipe. You get it? You have many different recipes to administer death. Now look at death, meaning the angels. Forget the seals and the spirits, but the angels. There's a group of angels of death, the Malak al-Maut. You get my point? The rearranging the order of these angels will give you different results. Now, if you can understand, these angels have symbols. These symbols are recipes to make substances like that. Each seal or symbol is a recipe to administer death, but it's a specific arrangement, you get it, of the ingredients are the angels. Meaning if you speak in the angels, the first angel you go last, and the second to last angel you go third. Switch the order, get different results. Now use that in terms of recipe. You have ingredients to administer death. If you change the arrangement or the order, you have a new recipe and you have a new agent to administer death. So the seals represent a literal entity, person, and it represents a recipe, formula. And I know most of you guys will say, how can a person be a recipe? You're a recipe, meaning you're a person, a human. There's a recipe to make a human. That recipe is a mixture of substances. You can make a human right now. You know the recipe. White semen, red menstrual blood. You get it? And semen has its recipe, menstrual blood has its recipe. Mix and merge them. You can make a real physical entity called a human. An elephant, so it's the same. A mixture of substances. Elephant semen different than man semen, so I suppose the recipe different. You get my point? But the mixing and merging of different substances or alchemy, you get a physical person. Look at these angels of death the same way. They're a real physical entity, and they also have a recipe to their being or making, or their manifesting, the same as you. If I say manifest a human, so y'all know sex is the mixing of these substances, whether you do it through sex or just in a laboratory, so it's the same. You get my point? The mixing and merging of substances. So I'm giving y'all that example so y'all can grasp when I say death is a group of physical real entity, and they also have a substance to their makeup, a recipe to their being that can be administered as death as well. Just like the recipe to a human is life. Like mixing white semen and red menstrual, this is the recipe to life. Like cooking, like any kind of chemistry or alchemy you could think of, the mixing and merging of things. So this is the secret science. You get my point? But on the atomic level, the molecular level. But it wouldn't matter what level you start from, it's going to manifest out all the way. Now, there are 4 euthanasia classifications. That's active, passive, indirect, and PAS, which is physician-assisted suicide. Meaning the physician may give you the euthanasia and let you give it to your own self, but they assisted you by giving it to you. Or they may administer it to you, like somebody on death row. They give them a lethal injection. A lethal injection would be euthanasia. Meaning euthanasia is the many different drugs that would classify as agents of death or recipes of death. And so, of course, the hospitals, the pharmacies, they know these recipes. And so you have euthanasias. You have anesthesias. This is like putting y'all in between state. Not dead, but not alive either. And then you have anastasis. This is your old science or your old recipes where you could bring a person back to life. Meaning the same way a person can lethal inject you when you die, there's a recipe, that's a substance that you can be administered to bring a dead body back to life. Like for real, real. And so this is what y'all don't have in today. You know my point? And if say Jesus doing magic, he raising niggas from the dead, but this is science. Meaning magic is science, it's wisdom. So I could shoot you with some anesthesia and clock you out. Okay? Hit you with some anastasis and resurrect you. This is why if you look up resurrection, they're going to have an ancient word attached to it that says anastasis. Anastasis is literally like anesthesia. It's the name of the drug, meaning resurrection is the description of a drug called anastasis. And so you get my point? Meaning y'all could be resurrected from the dead. After a certain time, of course, you know, we're not going to work. But within a window, you can raise the dead. Now, if the person's soul is there or not, That's a whole nother topic. But so the body will be operating. So hopefully y'all grasp. New world knowledge. Should I drop something in your cash app? I ain't get it, baby. Do it again. Nah. Shalom, shalom. Oh, you did. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Whoever that was. The names is different. But thank you. Now, like I said, in the past, you had those ancient drugs. Well, it's not just the past, you have them now, but y'all ain't familiar with anastasis, meaning the resurrection drug. Y'all like, I ain't never heard of that one. Yeah, I bet not. You niggas got to die. Like, they giving y'all COVID. Why would they give y'all shit to bring y'all back to life? And you got to really think on that. Because COVID-19, all these diseases and things y'all got, they recipes too. Meaning just like you got the angel of death, this is a spirit. It has a symbol. That symbol is a recipe or a drug mixture that will make you die. All the spirits is that. You get it? Buer. Buer. This is a spirit and spirit summoning. Buer has a seal or a symbol. His symbol is a recipe. It has to do with ethanol and whatever other chemicals are used to make beer. Boer is beer. If you look up the Old Norse way of saying beer, it's boer. That part. Buor. Boer. Like that. All the spirits are real physical entity as well as a recipe of something, whatever they represent. You get it? A human is a physical entity, and their recipe is a mixture of life and perspective. You get my point? Meaning literally, but use that perspective. Mix semen and menstrual cycle blood, you get a human, and they alive, and that's life. And death has a mixture. It's labeled as euthanasia. You get my point? You have many different spirits or substances that are literal things. That's why I tell y'all, summoning spirit practice got to do with the mixing and merging of substances or alchemy. And y'all can see the devil and go to different realms that way. You get it? Divination, when someone is speaking to the spirits and telling you your future, it's a matter of that. If a person telling you they can tell you are they a psychic and you ain't see them use no drugs, they lied to you. It's the only way that work. That's why sometimes y'all get high and y'all get weird flashes and visions, but it's the drugs. And those visions and things may be right, but you was high, meaning you had assistance in your vision. Unhigh, you don't have them visions. And so this is what a shaman was in the past. Or a psychic. Would have really been a shaman. And they know the drug recipes. And if they're trying to tell you your future or something like that, this is a matter of drugs. Meaning your future ain't a matter of drugs, but them getting the message from the dead spirits is a matter of drugs and them taking it. Think like when y'all hear stories of people take DMT, then they see little midgets and elves. And these elves be talking to them, telling them stuff. Like that. A shaman or a psychic would take the drugs, go into whatever realm they go into. That's why when you see it in movies, they be looking all crazy and high, like that. This is real old shit. Meaning spirit summoning and necromancy is real. You get my point? But y'all don't understand how it works. Y'all think like spirits is ghosts and you gonna snatch them out and no, you want to see the devil, you gonna go to the devil the same way somebody take DMT and they go into that weird strange realm, which is your dead realms. Meaning those little entity that they see in DMT land, those is your entity of the duat of the dead. And they trying to lure the person into death. You get it? This is what people on DMT don't realize. Them little things ain't your friend. They trying to make you stay there. Meaning if you die on DMT, where you think you gonna be at? That part. Still there. You don't know your body. You get it? They on high on DMT. They ain't paying attention to their body in physical life. If it die, it die. They where they at. Like that. And that's with any drug. You take the drug, you die. Try and grasp. Thomas Mann said, I took an edible and I saw the bottomless pit, black hole. Salam, shalom. I'm not sure how to say your name, but you said, yes, indeed. Recipes to manifest an entity, elemental from the bonding of different chemical soups. Yeah, y'all make yourselves not understand. Try not to be so smart or try to seem smart. Try to grasp. Meaning the simplest way y'all can say it is how I can determine if you grasp. When y'all start talking like chemists, then I know y'all don't. Meaning scientists that come from school, they don't know shit. That's why they talk like hypotryptazine and you get it? You telling me a scientist couldn't make simpler names? Are they naming these things? So why even bother to confuse your own self? Why not just make the name simple? They do that on purpose. You get it? It's like word game shit. I don't understand this thing so good, so let me play my dumb smart games that I am good at. But you get my point? Now, the reason I said that is because of this. You're not manifesting the entity. You're invoking the entity. Meaning you're taking the recipe and this is bringing you there. Meaning if y'all want to see the devil, it's a 12 substance mixture. Meaning a mixture of 12 different drug substances or chemicals. Will blast you off there. When y'all go to DMT realms, this be like DMT and 2 other drugs. Because DMT be growing like that. You got like DMT 5 and different kinds. And it's a matter of the mixture. You get my point? Again, if you want to see the devil, it's a mixture. You want to see any entity you ever heard of. All them entities that y'all heard of, the 72 spirits of Solomon and all that, y'all can see all them entities. And all them entities have a substance that coincides with them the same way euthanasia coincides with the angel of death. Meaning euthanasia is a mixture of drug substances that will administer death to a person. And angel of death is the same. But this is the entity and this is the substance of the thing. Same with boer. The substance of boer is beer. But you can see boer, he's retarded like a drunk on beer. You get it? The substance coincides with the entity, meaning boer is insane. Moving all around crazy and got many arms and legs and all discombobulated. He's chaotic. Like a nigga drunk. Like what the substance do to a person. He is that. You get my point? Now y'all can drink beer in its natural raw fashion or recipe. Meaning y'all get watered down beer. But if y'all got the actual recipe from the seal, meaning if y'all knew how to read the seal, then y'all would know the recipe. The seal is like scientific formula because all these molecules have a chemical structure. You get my point? A molecule of water has a structure. And so when y'all looking at those seals and they got the weird squiggly lines, this is just the structure, the molecular structure of whatever ingredient you can say. Meaning ethanol has a chemical structure. This would be one of the squiggly lines in the seal that is boer. And whatever other chemicals is mixed with it, you grasp? Those squiggly lines are molecular structures will be added to make one strange looking seal. If you're a sorcerer or a scientist, so you know, meaning I know because of that. So that's chemical, those are chemical formulas. Meaning when y'all look at it, y'all say, man, that's crazy symbols. Y'all ain't scientists. Y'all ain't familiar with atoms and molecular structures. Most of y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. That's the difference. If you know a thing, then you know a thing. That's why I used to always tell y'all, you gotta know a thing to know a thing. Otherwise, what you talking about? And so when I look at the seals, I don't see what y'all see. That part. I see ethanol. Get it? Like that. If y'all was scientists, y'all know the design of ethanol, y'all would know, like, hold on. This just old science. This is a recipe. Like that. Did not know, oh, boer is the recipe for beer. It was making beer in the past. Get faded. It was getting faded. Like that. They had crack and all that shit in the past. Meaning baking soda mixed with cocaine. This is a recipe. Think of a sorcerer. He got a glass ball. Think glass pot. With that, it's just magic. This is sorcery. Meaning if you be cooking up crack, man, you a sorcerer. Back in the day, you would have been. That's a glass ball. That's a glass ball. Like, you getting busy. You doing chemistry. Man, if any of y'all watch me that's a cop and it's allowed, I would like to cook cocaine live on YouTube. I will break the internet. But I need a cop to stand in the video with me, cause he gonna give it to me from the confiscation room. Or at least that's what's gonna be said. Gotta all be right. And he gonna hand it to me. Ounce. 10 little grams. I'm gonna whip it up. It's gonna be for educational purposes. Because when y'all see me cook it, and then we gonna have a fiend on standby, and when y'all see the fiend hit it and one tear fall out their eye, and no smoke come back out, then y'all gonna get like, oh shit, Solace ain't lying. This shit is ancient sorcery. They putting sorcery on us. All this new shit y'all buying, sorcery. Fuck y'all up. Crack wasn't a mistake. It was literal sorcery. Baking soda, meaning chemistry. It's chemist shit. What happens if I mix baking soda with cocaine? Fuck up. I can fuck up a whole generation of people. That's what. Hit it? Now what happens if I mix quinine with heroin? Oh, motherfuckers won't die instantly. Oh yeah, let's just put some of that on it. So that way we could like, cause heroin will kill you. Heroin is like a euthanasia. Get it? But when you cut it down right, then they just take it and they die slow. Get it? They make the death longer. They become a whole addict, and you get to see them turn into a whole zombie before they die, as opposed to just taking it and dying. Like, you get it? Like, this shit go deep. I don't know if because I'm laughing or what, but to see people have, he said, tear come out, no smoke. Some of y'all be moving that product, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm 40, I'm older. In my younger days, I used to get busy, so like I said, it'll be for educational purposes, just so y'all can see on a real level whether you out there hustling or using, or just somebody that got family members. You can see, like, no, that is, he not lying. That's some sitting in the chemistry lab shit. You get my point? This shit go deep. You got niggas in the street can cook up coke with ammonia. You get my point? Back in the day, the dope spots or the little crack houses, the abandoned buildings, they don't have no gas. I know y'all don't think nigga paying the light and gas on on a bando. So the bandos ain't got no gas, no lights. The fiends is in there 50, 60 deep. Maybe not that many. Maybe 15, 20 fiends in there. They done dragged the whole garbage can inside the bando and set it on fire. But the point I'm making is they ain't got no gas, so they ain't got no way to cook up that cocaine and get high. We speaking of fiend. They buy powder and they cook it themselves. They figured out how to put ammonia on it because it's like I said, it's all chemistry. Meaning this shit is just schoolwork. Like chemistry. And so you ain't got baking soda and heat. You got ammonia. It could work just as good. You get my point? And so it's understanding chemistry or alchemy, which is the same thing. And so I'm just giving y'all little references so y'all can grasp. When you're dealing with them ancient seals, you're dealing with physical entity, but you're dealing with the mixing and merging of substances as well. Meaning those seals are symbols, are recipes, are chemical formulas. Then you have the literal deity too, though, in existence. And so I want to explain where these deity are in our vessel. Give me 1 second, I apologize. I had to cut the light on. It gets dark while I'm doing these videos. Then when I finish, oh crib be dark, I'll be scared like, who's that? Y'all know I'm gangster, but I'm scared of the dark. I mean, who ain't scared of the dark? Niggas start lying. Everybody's scared of the dark, not just me, blood. I don't care if I'm 40 and still scared of the dark. I like the dark, I don't mind it. Unconscious reality said I watched my mama cook up. I ain't gonna lie, I used to have a few little butt naked holes with them thing up. I just hide them and look at them naked. You know, I'm perverted back in the day. She don't want to have sex with me, cool. You want a job then? Seriously, come on by. Come on by, baby. You gotta get naked, you hear? You counting the same bankroll. Say, oh yeah, you doing a good job. I mean, she done fucked up everything. I don't, whatever. It's more where that came from. Ain't no big deal. I hope she fucked it up. Now you owe me. Yeah, I owe. About that sex. I'm just playing. You fucked up the whole pack. I am got the smell of life on my face. I messed up. Oh, don't worry about it. About that sex. Nah. I'm like Scarface, baby. Another Quelo, you love me in the morning. That basically means you just get more high. The more high you get, the more cute I look, the more you gonna be feeling me like like the more I fulfill your desires, the more cute, and then the more you gonna like me. Another key, another day, you feel me? You love me more. Like Scarface was deep. You had that game, y'all don't get it. Nah, I'm playing. Let's get to the real. Now, and like you said, your mama was whipping up. Yeah, you got a lot of women that's in that game, and they get busy too. I ain't gonna act like chicks don't be getting down. A lot of them have dudes they used to deal with. They showed them how things go. No, I never showed my children's mother anything. I'm that type of dude. Outside's outside, and the house is the house. And get it? None of that kind of stuff, they business. No holding guns for me or none of that. So if you ask my baby mamas, you ever held a pistol for them, they gonna look at you like you crazy. Like, the fuck are you talking about, nigga? I don't do shit. Nigga don't like me to do shit, and I'm lazy anyway. I don't want to. So, my baby mothers is lazy. So I'm trying to do shit anyway. You know, hold these drugs for me, they gonna look at me crazy. Like, nigga, but I got your kid. Baby mothers is sharp, blood. They know what to do. hit me with the deep excuse. But I got your kids. You just fucking scared you don't want to earn your motherfucking keep. Nah, I never bring that kind of stuff to them, you know. And so if you out there in them streets, I hope you got a mind to be like that too. That ain't for dumb. Meaning you shouldn't even have the type of girl that is like, you know, in that kind of life. Should be different from you. She shouldn't really understand that life. She shouldn't understand you in it if she know you in it. So just keep these things in mind. Now, I want to discuss the angel of death within self. There are 4 euthanasia classifications. That's active, passive, indirect, and physician-associated suicide. This is like I said, when a physician may give you the euthanasia and let you clock your own self out. You get my point? Now, there are 4 angel of death. Michael, Gabriel, Azrael, and Raphael. Are Michael, Jibril, Azrael, and Israfil. These are 4 archangels. If you're lost, archangels ain't in physical life with us, so that means they in the dead realms. They over it. Those your angels of death, those are your Malak al-Maut. Apologize, my mustache long as hell. Keep tickling. Keep tickling my nose. I don't feel like cutting it yet. Don't worry about it though. Now, like I said, you got 4 euthanasia classifications and you got 4 angel of death classifications. That's Michael, Jibril, Israel, and Israfil. Now, the 4 parts of the spine, the cervical, that's the neck part. The thoracic, that's the chest to there. The lumbar part of the spine, that's the gut area. And the sacrum part of the spine, that aligns with your private area. These are the 4 parts of the vertebrae. Those are your 4 archangels encased in rock and bound to the vessels. So you see like on the movie Noah when the angels is falling and they turning into rock? The body is forming, the body, the egg cell, this is earth, is forming. You get it? Like that. They was there in the beginning, now they rock down in y'all spine. That's why I say the spirits is in the spine. And so the 4 parts of your spine is literally those 4 angel of death. They're over the spine cells that's in the spine. This is your hall of Amen, or your hall of Amenti, the path to life, or the lower parts where the sperm cell are undead. So the spine is the hall of Amenti. You might have read about that in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Or it's just called the hall of Amen. That's to say that. And so the vertebrae are the rock part of your spine is those 4 archangels. Of course, the spine has the ark. It's your ark, the archangels. You got many other angels, but they gonna fall under them 4. Meaning they gonna all the angels and the spirits of the dead gonna fall in the spine vertebrae. The 4 parts of the spine vertebrae are your 4 archangels that keep all of that bound in the over that realm. And this is all within your vessel, meaning you're the rising, setting conscious, like the sun. You set to the lower parts of the spine. This is what you call unconscious sleep. And then you raise in the morning to the central brain. You open your eyes, you awake. You get my point? And so you're passing through the dead realms when you're going into sleep because of that. This is how sometimes y'all have dream. Meaning everything's physical. Y'all just don't get it. And so I'll say again, you have a spine in your body. A vertebrae. It's the hall of Amen, or Amenti. The dead realms in the world. The body is a world. Of course, we live in the world. That's a body. Meaning our solar system. A sun and its members. A sun and its chakras. A sun and its planets. It's a body. Whenever you see a rising, setting sun, you in the world are a body, and that's the spinal chambers of it. This is why y'all don't know the path of the sun. Like, where is it going and coming from? It's going to the dead realms, which is a physical place in this world y'all can go to. I don't know if y'all still be living after y'all go down into that cave, because that's how it's going to appear to y'all. Meaning the sun is setting into its hole, or the conscious in the body is setting into its spine chamber, the vertebrae. In this world we live in, the same way as in your body. You're like a sun to all the life within your universe, or your solar system, your body, your world. And when you go to sleep at night and you set into unconscious, your consciousness, which is light, is going dark as it's descending down the spine to the sacrum area. This is your dead realms. Of course, this realm coincides with your sperm cell. They down there, whatever's down there is dead, meaning unconscious. And so when you as the conscious within the body set into that part of your spine, meaning the sacrum, you go dead or unconscious. If your conscious happens to rise, all the space in between the sacrum and the central brain, which is the cervical spine, your thoracic spine, your lumbar spine, this is all your levels of dream world or afterlife. And sometimes y'all slip in there as conscious, literally. Meaning y'all can be an unconscious down in the sacrum while sleeping and raise up into the lumbar spine and have a whole nightmare. Because that's the hell area. And gassy and shitty. And hell smells like shit. And it's hot. You get it? And so we're speaking of literal place. Now the four archangels are the four parts of the spine. Like I said, they bounded to the earth or the bodies. Always. And so when the spirit in the body dies, which is you, that part, you'll grasp everything that I just said fit, I suppose. Meaning this is all real. If you think like, man, I wonder if the devil real. The devil deep down in your sacrum. You get it? God in your dome. The spirit of God come right out your dick. That's semen. You know, the Holy Ghost. The chrism. The ointment. That's why it's called the anointed. Semen manifests, all them dead sperm cells get raised back to life. They got semen all over them. They anointed. They gonna go in that egg cell, or they gonna go in a woman's womb, which is bloody hell, and die. But they all sacrifices for the one. That's what it's about, baby. The great religion. So all sperm cells is down there in the dead realms waiting on Jesus to raise them up. Or the Spirit of God, which is a substance. It's called semen. Like I said, it's the Lord of hosts. Semen got millions and billions of sperm cells in it. It's called the Lord of hosts. When they go in the womb, it slaughter everything in there, because sperm cell is foreigners to a woman's womb. And so the cells in her womb start attacking the sperm cells. They don't know who they is. And so it's a war in heaven. This shit go deep. I can break the whole Bible down to y'all, or the whole existence, however y'all need. Because life is reproduction. Meaning what happened in the beginning always happens, because life is a reproducing thing. All the bodies do the same thing. Same way you was born in a physical life and have a body, your kids, same thing. It starts with the sperm cell of the great dragon being cast to earth. That's the egg cell, the body. And so let there be light from there, baby. And then everything in earth was created from there. You get it? The whole world was created from there. But it started with the sperm cell hovering over the face of the waters. So that's Genesis in the beginning. The Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And it was dark and void. Exhale. When the sperm cell get the exhale and you get conception, there's a spark. Let there be light. From there, everything's created. You get all your generations of man, or you get all your reproduced cells forming in that egg cell after that. Meaning all your generation of cells start forming from that point. You get the zygote, it splits into two, then four. You get Adam, this nigga turned into a lady. They take his rib, split. That nigga turned into two people, Adam and Eve. Again, you had a zygote, just one being. Then it turned into two. Then it turned into four. So you had Adam, then Eve, then Cain and Abel. Then shit just goes crazy from there. 2, 4, 8, 16, blah, 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 boom. All the way to that egg cell is just a whole bunch of cells now. And this is when it collapses. And so now you have your outer rim of cells, and you have your central cells. Your central cells, this is your embryoblast. It's like an arc. That's what's going to develop into the body. The rest of the outer rim of cells going to turn into the placenta. This is the earth being flooded. You get it? Meaning, this is your amniotic sac stage of a world developing. A body is a world. It starts as an exhale. It starts with the Spirit of God hovering over the face of the waters. Or it starts with a sun getting the body, or a sun getting the world. A sun, like rising and setting sun, sperm cell, they're that. Suns, meaning you got suns in your balls. Stars, falling ones. But this is entity, meaning real life beings. What y'all see the pharaohs look like? And they all encased in gold, and they got the, I forgot the pharaoh crowns. Look like do-rags. Look at a sperm cell. A sperm cell has an acrosome over its head. It looks just like the pharaoh little headdress thing. Look it up right now. I put an image up in a PDF magazine that I have that y'all can go purchase on wiseservant.org. I got the images in there with the side-by-side comparison of a sperm cell and its biology and the pharaohs and all the biology of their crown, so you can see it is literally a sperm cell. You get my point? Meaning we live in the body, it started the same way. The sun that we see was the sperm cell that got the egg in the beginning. And from there you got the chromosomes, are what y'all will call pre-dynastic pharaohs. And so this is when Upper Egypt bound into Lower Egypt. You get it? The sun being from where it's from, upper. Man on top of a woman. The sperm cells is coming from heaven into the woman's womb. She got the egg cell, that's earth. You get my point? And so now the chromosomes in the egg cell is Lower Egypt. The chromosomes on the sperm cell, Upper Egypt. You're going to get these 23 coming together. This is your pre-dynastic pharaohs. Upper Egypt merging with Lower Egypt. And from there you get your dynasties. This is before dynasties. That's why I tell y'all, let's start with conehead albinos. Let's start with Scorpion 1, Scorpion 2. Meaning that ain't got nothing to do with Mortal Kombat. That got to do with ancient Egyptian scholarship. Meaning they cold-blooded. When I tell you, y'all need to learn ancient Egyptian right. Get a one-on-one, I'll teach you it. Then you'll get it like, oh yeah, they was cold blood way deep. They breaking down the biology of this existence we live in. Life is reproducing, so the same thing happens in the biology of you coming forth by day, or being born out of the do-what? The womb. And so, okay, y'all are grasping. Shalom, shalom. And so if anyone wants to give back, this is $1 Million Scholarship. I'm trying to get some land so I can start a little land and resource wealth school for the youth and any adults that want to learn. The different products that's in the store, they all come from certain resources. So we need to start learning those things. So we ain't got to be spending everything we get, on product. Make y'all own fucking bread and some other things. And of course, if you have this knowledge, then you can go get you some land and know what you're doing. And so I have a textbook coming out explaining these things, different types of lands, the different restrictions of lands, what you need to know when you're purchasing land. Because, different lands have different restrictions and zoning laws. So you want to know these things. You want to know the different parcel types. You might buy marshland, then you be fucked. Like, you get it? In marshland, it's restricted. It ain't got no real foundation for you to build on or nothing. And so marshland is just like recreational property that you can just go and observe birds and, whatever. But you can't live there, do nothing with it. It's a waste of a buy. But it's going to be cheap when you do buy it. And so that's what's going to get you. 50 acres for 5,000. You like, oh yeah, I need that. You're going to see the water. It's going to look like waterfront. And then next thing you know, you buy it and you go out there and you're like, I can't stand nowhere. It's just muddy and swampy. But it got grass over the mud and swamp, so it ain't look like that in the picture. Till I step on it. Then everything turned brown and muddy. So there's different type of parcels, there's different type of restrictions. Like I said, I'm putting the, well, it's already done. I just got to finish typing it out. And so once I finish doing that, I'll get the ISBN and all of that, and then I'm going to put it out. Unconscious Reality said, I saw your books. I was trying to PDF them all. No, you don't have to do them one by one. There's a complete series. You get it? There's different options. You have to look through the options. Now, where was I at? I was explaining these fallen. Like I said, if y'all want to get back, y'all can click the link, the little arrow next to the title. Now, let me finish this up for the ungratefuls. Like I said, you have the 4 parts of the spine. The 4 archangels are the Malak al-Maut, the angels of death. They're bound to the 4 parts of the spine. So that's within all the vessels. I know I was speaking about ancient Egyptian science and the primordial pharaohs and all of that. Like I said, y'all can give back. Those of y'all that don't want to, that's fine. Those of y'all that do give back, I'll just get a one-on-one. And learn Egypt. Understand the first sunset. Understand what you are. Meaning, the understanding of existence is the understanding of self. And so if you can learn self, you can learn the whole existence. Meaning all them texts y'all read, and I can explain the whole Bible to y'all like I just did with the Spirit of God, and where you grasp it like, oh shit, that do make sense. And then how I get to the flood of the whole earth, and we can go along through science. I get a biology book. You can do it through Google, however you want, and go step by step. Every part of the Bible correlates with a part of biology, of a body. You get it? Meaning, from conception to birth, there's different stages. Every stage coincides with an event in the Bible. That's not by mistake. So, learn within, you'll know without. It's a lot of sorcery being put on y'all and other things, but that's the angels of death. And so, death offer peace, meaning when death come, it come with peace or death take peace or die. And so you take that in your life, like, you gonna take peace or you gonna die. So peace is an offering or a gift from death. I mean, you have life. Life is chaotic. Then you have death. Death is nothing. You have peace in between the two. Peace ain't living. Meaning when you living, you want to bring a death. It's chaotic. When you dead, it ain't nothing. And so peace is between the two in a safe zone. And so when death approach, it offers that. Peace or death. And so anybody that faced death, they'll tell you, yeah, it was real peaceful and calm right before I died. If they didn't die, but it was an attempt on their life, and they think back, they're going to say, yeah, the moment before the act, everything got calm. Like me, I got shot. I'm walking down the street talking to my daughter's mother. I hung up, and I noticed a calmness. But of course, I don't know I'm about to get shot. So I just noticed it. Meaning it's clear. If you've been almost killed and you think back, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, it did get slow. But I didn't know I was going to die either, so I ain't paying no mind. And so right in that moment, I remember right before the shots, there was a stillness. It reminded me of a movie when, the tumbleweed flow by, and it's like, it got like that. Then pop, 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 my ears rung out. I hit the floor so fast, I didn't even know I was on the floor. I started monkey crawling and shit. I was lost in them times. So I'm like, I'm gonna crawl under a car and die under a car and shit. Because I got jewelry and shit on Mad Money. I'm like, I don't want to die just laying in the middle of the street. You get my that shit look crazy. So I'm like, damn, I can't have niggas see me like that, stretched out like that. So I'm trying to monkey crawl and get up under a car. Because I'm going to go ahead and clock out under there. Fuck it. They got to pull me from under the car. Niggas can see me then. But I don't want niggas just walking by me and shit. It's real out there. Motherfuckers, do you filthy with your heavy butt naked out there. I'm fly too? Hell nah. But lucky for me, niggas ran out of bullets and shit. So I jumped up. Leg was a little fucked up, noodled out. I got hit in the hip. So everything from the hip down was clocked out. And so, like I said, I was in a different place. I was kind of gangster then, so I just giggled it off, laughed it off. Hopped and licked my ass in the building. It was like a joke to me. Like, oh, niggas want to play games. You know when you young, you be stupid. So, like, you get it? I'm in that kind of environment. I do these type of things, too. So, you get it? It's like whatever with me. I had been stabbed and all type of shit back then. Meaning that wasn't my first rodeo or nothing like that. 21 when that happened. So, I've been, like, gangbanging since 16, 15. So like I said, that wasn't my first rodeo. That was a hit. Meaning somebody put some bread on my head in drug dealing times. But the point is, right before that moment, it was still. And I always remember that. And so like I said, the moment right before death, it gets still. Now had I known that when it happened, I would have known like, death is here. I could have just dropped on the floor myself and monkey crawl before I got hit. You get it? You gotta be aware of. It's like I said, when death approach, it offer peace, and if you don't take it, they give you death. And so in that moment, when I got that quick moment of stillness, I wasn't observant of it. And so I got the death. Like but I didn't die, but you get my point. I still got the bullet in me and all that. It's a deep thing, but look at it like that. And so your life the same way. You gonna take peace or you gonna get clocked out. Meaning death gonna offer y'all all the opportunity to have peace and be peace. Keep pushing the envelope or the knife, you gonna clock out. You get my point? I don't care if you out there ganging and shooting niggas. You get your moments where you know, like, yeah, peace is being offered to me. You might get offered to go down south and have a different life. Some of y'all gang members like that right now. You 18, banging out there, and you just got an offer to go down south or go somewhere, and you about to pass it up. Like, nah, I ain't gonna fuck that. There you go. That's death approaching. Take the peace, or you gonna get clocked out. And so you gotta know when to clock out on your own and take the peace and just live a peaceful life. Stay out the way. You get my point? And so death's a deep thing. And right before the moment of death. So that's the place of peace. Meaning peace is a place, a state of mind, and a moment. Like I said, right before death is the moment. The place of peace is right before life, but it ain't death. Death is like nothing. So when y'all wake up but y'all eyes still closed, this is the place of peace. Once y'all open y'all eyes, let the chaos begin, baby. And so I suppose this is why meditators close their eyes. Because that's the only way they gonna get to that place. Salam, shalom.